Hey, I'm Pat. Welcome to Daily Devo. Today we're going to talk about priorities and presence. I know, I always joke by saying, this is my favorite verse or favorite story in the Bible. But this time, I really, and never mind, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Let's just say this one is a gem. This one, if you and I will live it out, will have one of the greatest impacts in our lives, especially in our current society. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 33 through 34, Jesus says, "Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and He will give you everything you need. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." There's two main ideas here, both tied closely together. So let me work backwards. Jesus tells us not to worry about tomorrow, that tomorrow has enough of its own worries. Jesus is telling you and I to live in the present, to not miss the moment, to truly experience today. Oh, that we would get this, because most of us immensely struggle with this. You and I live in a society that is so busy, moving so fast, and rarely slowing down. What's fascinating about the Bible is that it gives us a powerful theology of time. It doesn't ignore the past. It tells us to learn from the past, to remember God's faithfulness of the past, to grow from the past. It also points us to the future and calls us to store up treasures in heaven, to never forget our future, to live today for that day. But here, in these verses in Matthew, Jesus calls us to the art of living in the here and now. Jesus isn't telling us to ignore the future, but He's warning us against being consumed with it. He's telling us to not miss today, because the present is where God will show up. I wonder how many opportunities we have squandered or completely missed because we were not paying attention to what God was trying to do right in front of us today. Okay, you may be thinking, Jesus, this all sounds good, but do you know how difficult this is to live in the here and now and not fret and worry and obsess over the future? How do we do this? How do we live in the moment? Listen to these verses again, but let me read them backwards. "So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today." So how do we not worry about tomorrow? Go to the verse before it. "Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and He will give you everything you need." Seek first His kingdom. What does this mean? One word: priorities. It's so easy to be consumed with the cares of this life, isn't it? They can truly weigh us down. Yet when it comes down to it, it's all about priorities. It's keeping first things first. Seek first His kingdom. Make your priority today this kingdom that you're a part of. This kingdom without borders, this kingdom without limits, this kingdom not bound by time, this kingdom that will have no injustices, this kingdom that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind can imagine, this kingdom where the inhabitants will one day love people and walk on gold rather than loving gold and walking on people. Seeking first this kingdom of God is to intentionally focus and fully experience your relationship with God right now, today. Priorities and presence. Today, let's choose to be present, to live in the here and now by making His beautiful, eternal kingdom our priority.